Hi everyone, and welcome to Jane Talks Murder, where I'll be talking about and reviewing an episode of Poirot, Murder, She Wrote, Diagnosis Murder, or Jonathan Creek. Today, I'm looking at Poirot, the Yellow Iris. Or as I like to call it, that time our killer was a Jedi. We begin the episode with Barton and Pauline visiting Iris's grave almost 2 years after her death, while Poirot and Hastings argue over food, so Hastings suggests a new French restaurant, whose name sounds familiar to Poirot. Miss Lemon comes in with a flower, so Poirot accuses them both of conspiring against him, so they ask him what the hell is going on. And he invites them to sit for an exposition dump. He tells them of a case he failed to solve 2 years ago, where he booked into a hotel in Buenos Aires and witnessed Pauline arguing with Anthony, who claimed he's in love with her. She storms off and he recognizes Poirot, so grabs a drink with him and gives him and the audience an absolute information overload. Barton strikes a deal with General this guy and a blackout happens, apparently a daily occurrence, and Stephen warns Poirot it's dangerous to stick around before talking to Iris, who seems a bit snooty. They get into an argument on the stairs, which Poirot listens in on and decides to follow them to a French restaurant where Barton introduces dancer Lola to everyone, who in turn has brought Anthony with her. Pauline is pissed, so Barton goes to dance with Lola, while outside the military shut down a bunch of the streets. Stephen is unnerved that Poirot is there, but Barton says to chill, and he's giving me very Colonel Curtis vibes, before going to make a call. The entertainment starts singing a song, the lyrics written by Christie herself, and Poirot notes one table has yellow irises, a request from Barton for Iris, and damn, this is a good song. Everybody clap. Barton returns to the table and proposes a toast. Drink up everyone. Wow, that was fast. So Poirot rushes in and announces Iris has been poisoned, which Barton says is impossible. Poirot finds the poison vial in Iris's purse, but Barton refuses to believe it was self-inflicted. And the next day, everything goes to shit, as the president has been shot, and the military arrests Poirot.
Don't worry, Monsieur Poirot. I'll call the French embassy. No! The Belgian embassy!
He's manhandled and shoved in front of General Ding Dong, who says his passport is fake and he's to be immediately deported, and that's why he was never able to solve the crime. Poirot and Hastings go to the newly opening restaurant, where they are greeted once again by Luigi, who explains Barton has booked a table for the same amount of people, complete with yellow irises, exactly 2 years after Iris's death. Lola's dance rehearsal is underway. Poirot and Hastings likey, and afterwards Lola tells them she thinks Iris did it to herself because Barton didn't love her, and mentions she was exiled, so relies on Barton as a friend, and is going to the dinner on Friday. Next stop is the press, where Pauline is having a go at Anthony again, and he tells Poirot that they are engaged and going to the dinner. But the oil deal Barton is involved with is going under because General Assface is in a lot of trouble. Oh jeez. Poirot goes to see Stephen, who says he's cutting his losses and returning to his previous business, but he too is going to the dinner, so on to Barton himself, who says his dinner plans are none of Poirot's business. But Pauline spills that the 6th place is for Iris in her memory. She thinks it's a shit idea and says she'll be free from him in a month, and flounces off, and Barton explains he's recreating the dinner in order to uncover who really killed Iris. Poirot tells Hastings he wants to go to the dinner, which Miss Lemon in turn isn't a fan of, especially seeing as Hastings is out of town, talking to Mr. Grove, who explains Iris's will left her fortune to Pauline, with the clause that Barton be her guardian until she turns 21 next month. Everyone gathers for the dinner, where Barton pours drinks and Poirot shows up to a note from Hastings, so he cancels his table right away, while Barton lectures everyone about how Iris's death was murder, before Poirot crashes the party and sits in Iris's seat. Barton gets up to request the same song as before, which freaks everyone out, and when the song ends, Barton returns to the table and proposes a toast to Iris, with Stephen shitting his pants in case his drink is poisoned, but it's Pauline who drops dead. Poor Luigi. The guests and this parrot sit around stunned, and Poirot says they need to solve Iris's murder, going from person to person, spilling a motive to every single one of them, grilling Stephen the hardest until he pulls the poison out of his pocket. Poirot yells at him for his shady business dealings as coffee is handed out, but Stephen denies being the murderer and accuses Barton, who Poirot points out wasn't even at the table at the time. Poirot explains that both murders were committed by the waiter, who was able to circle the table unnoticed by everyone. The waiter, who was Barton Russell, and he killed Iris for her trust fund for more shady business dealings. But Barton says someone would have noticed him.
Did you notice the waitress who served you with coffee just a few moments ago?
Haha, gotcha! It's Pauline. Wait, isn't that Harry Potter's mum? She says she was warned by Poirot not to drink and admits she was the one who sent the yellow iris to Poirot. With the case solved, Poirot tells Hastings he's hungry, so Hastings takes him for fish and chips, which Poirot loves. Man, this episode is exactly what a good mystery should be like. I mean, yes, there was that overcomplicated fluff about the business deal and the oil contract, and that general guy that lost me a little, but not only is this mystery clever, using the fact that most people don't bother paying attention to people in the service industry, no, like seriously, they're people too, don't be a dick to them, but also when you know who and how, it makes a rewatch so enjoyable. There are so many moments that stand out to me in this one, and Barton's actor does a great job selling the bit. There is a smugness to the character that you only truly notice when you watch knowing he's the killer, and certain lines and gestures have a colder and more calculating meaning. The motive is a little muddy, but in a way that doesn't matter because this guy had the balls to kill someone in plain sight in front of Poirot, and instead of getting away with it because he made a deal to have Poirot deported and because the police ruled it self-inflicted, he instead tried the whole thing over again and almost got away with it if it weren't for that meddling detective. There are so many clues, Barton insisting the meal must go ahead, the shady deal with the general guy, disappearing right before the murder both times, proposing a toast and insisting everyone drink, the twisted look on his face when he tells Iris he'll love her until he dies, his discomfort at Poirot being there the second time, and the great face acting from his actor. Seriously, go and watch this episode in its entirety, now you know who the killer is. It changes the whole experience, I'm telling you. We have one victim, Iris Russell, poisoned to death rather publicly for her money by her husband and our killer, Barton Russell, who tried to pull the same stunt again, but got caught by Poirot and his little grey cells. Who's smug now, dickface? So there you have it. That was the yellow iris. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, or come say hi on social media. If you enjoyed this video, then please hit that like button, it really does mean a lot. Or consider subscribing if you want to keep investigating with me. Alternatively, feel free to check out my other YouTube channels. Thank you so much for watching, I'll speak to you soon, and keep an eye out for clues.